Well, it's day 130. 130 days, at least, that I've kept track of working on this application. Now, 130 days represents four and a third months. Now, considering it's actually month 7, what does that mean? Well, what that really means is I really streamed for about that, and I've lost track of a lot of days. Because I've been pretty much working on this since November, the beginning of November, and I don't think I've gone 2 days. Okay, I haven't gone 3 days without working on this in that entire time. But some of my day counts are rounded, as in, all right, well, I only worked 2 hours on Saturday night. I worked 4 hours on Sunday. I'll just merge those into a day. So there's times, then there's other days when I work 12 and I only count that as a day. I never split a day, but I will kind of fudge my days, and I lose track of days. Like I don't log them all, or the days you see are the days that I stream. But if I remember to update it enough for days that I worked without streaming, like today, this is the first time I've streamed, I don't know. But I've been working on this off and on all day. I put in like 3 or 4 hours. So if I hadn't streamed before I leave in a couple hours, then it would have still been a day's of work. But would I have gotten around to updating the number to 131? I don't know. So yeah, there's a lot of days like that where I've worked on it and never streamed during the day. Some days I've worked 8, 9, 10 hours on it without. But it has a lot to do with what I'm doing and how much I want to not clutter my stream with too much repetitive stuff. Like right now, I spent this whole week doing the same thing, and I haven't put any UI stuff up. No new UI elements have occurred. But I've done a lot of back-end stuff, a lot of simulator things, building up my status functionality, connecting my API responses and requests to the front end. I've built a basic first action in UI, but I haven't had a chance to test it because I've got things that need to go in and out during that time. So a lot of things there are happening. I haven't created a new thing. That's going to happen a lot throughout the progress, especially the further I get on into the depth of the back end stuff. Because yes, I eventually want to render it and create pages and stuff that show all that stuff, but I may not have yet created all of the UI for that. Plus, I haven't decided how or what I'm going to do to create the cool interfaces. So what game was it somebody was playing? Somebody was playing Maximum Football on YouTube. And he jokingly went about going through it. And I noticed as he's opening packs. Okay, so apparently Maximum Football, like a lot of these football games, are very pay to play. The more packs you buy, the more guys you get. But the cards are terrible. I mean, the ones he was opening, I don't know if they got better since then. But I mean, it was 2024, like last year, that he was doing this. But when you open the packs, they're basically all wearing the same gear. Same, I mean, there's nothing unique about these characters. You can barely even tell they're different. Some may be a little bit bigger, some smaller. I don't know who these guys are. And of course, the names are all made up. So you don't know what you're getting. You're just going by the number in the corner. It says it's a 73, 80, 89, 90. And that's like, there's got to be a handful of games out there that do that exact same thing. They all just give the players a power value. And so what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? It means it's a terrible game. I don't like those games. Okay, so it's terrible in my eyes. I don't want to say what everybody knows that my opinion isn't the number one most. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't like those games because that just means the only way to get better is by getting these cards, getting better and better and better cards, because you're really not going to improve much because there isn't much to it. Yes, maybe since it's a play game where you throw your own passes and run your own runs, that maybe you can get a little faster, a little quicker, possibly perform better. I don't know. I mean, I'll guess depends on what you're up against. You don't always even know what the teams you're playing against are. Are they using cards too? And yeah, it's not great. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. But I want to have a game that's got the meat and the logic to back up the meat. In other words, whatever you're doing in the back end isn't just about putting better players on the field, but to actually get a result out of that. I have some great plans for how I've actually defined now how potential's going to work, how you're going to get experience, and this will allow for things like what do you call it, rookie busts. The logic I came up with could potentially result in rookie busts and rookie booms, like, you know, guys that got drafted in the 6th round, but stuff happens. They're able to increase their stats and their skills throughout the games and actually become what could be a great player. But also the same goes for like rookies that are you know, 1st round draft picks. With rookies, you're paying a lot for their potential, right? And their starting skills might be a little higher, but you're paying a lot for potential. And you might have a better idea what their skills, but potential is this nebulous thing. Every player out there has potential, right? Some you think less than others because this is their stats and this is their problems and their issues. But ultimately, it comes down to what is this player going to be capable of in the eyes of the scouts? Now, how good are these scouts at assessing potential? Because the fact is, in football, none of the rookies are as good as the guys who've been playing for 5 years, most of the time. There's some really good rookies who come out and just go amazing, but really, statistically, you don't expect them ever to match up, right? You take this year's number 2 or number 3 QB, and he's going to whoop every rookie that comes out. Maybe. Then you have those times when the rookie just they peak, they hit their potential, and they hit their stride, and they come out and they're just, you know, they're on. But I've developed this process, or I hope that you can actually come out and have a fantastic year, but ultimately you could still end up mediocre the next year, because that happens. But what happens is success breeds improvement. So in other words, you could have like what amounts to momentum and increase in abilities and success in a season that might rush some of your skill improvements. But as the season goes, once the season's over, you have to do it again the next season. You might still have a good shot at doing better. Your skills may have improved quite a bit. You may actually be a better player. But will you have that same level of success throughout the season? So that's kind of what I've developed, and it's a complex engine of defining how players can improve and degrade throughout a year. What that means is, like, maybe older players, their potential is, everybody's got potential, even the best players, but some may have very little potential because they may already be. Potential is what they can hit above and beyond. And it's actually kind of got, as it goes, you could theoretically have negative potential for failure. And it may not be as high, but you know, if certain things happen, stuff goes on, it can actually drag your skills down, so age, different things could potentially affect your ability to improve or even carry on. And so yeah, that's what I've developed, and I've got this cool concept in mind, and I've been putting it together, putting the logic in place, slowly but surely. How that's all going to work, and I've come up with a pretty good way to do it. All right, so what I've been doing, like I said, is trying to get to the point where I can do my first user interface strategy. Now, one of the things I did in my Unity here is I created teams, offense and defense, And I put in components for every single player, but ultimately I think what I want is one player. It's going to be a prefab that is just whatever a player is. And then I'll instantiate it for each team. For whatever players need to come in, go out, whatever we instantiate players, they come in, they go out, they come in, they come out. They are who they are, who they are. They get assigned certain values, certain things that I can track them with. And as long as they're in, it'll deal with them or remove them as needed. So, yeah, that's the strategy, the plan of what I'm going for here. So I got to create that player prefab, which essentially is just this. I take one of these and I don't know how I would convert something to a prefab, but it's going to be everything that I want that player to be, and then I'm going to attach his parts. So I'm a little concerned about some things, like I was actually speaking to was it ChatGPT? This ought to be interesting. Humanoid robots prepare to brawl. It's going to be... I can't imagine how this is actually a thing. Okay. Ooh, who's Dave Shapiro? Why does that name sound familiar to me? Oh. So, I don't know who Dave Shapiro is. I mean, the name sounded familiar. He's the owner of Sound Talent Group. Okay, back to task. Let's see. I was talking to ChatGPT today, and I guess I must have closed the window. So it made the suggestion that I create a prefab that would spawn player, transform parent, int, game object player, instantiate player prefab parent, game object model, instantiate model dot transform set parent. So that's kind of one of the things I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to create a prefab for a character that I can change its type. Alternative, a prefab for every model. I don't know if you create one prefab per player model. Player male, player female, each containing both logic and visual. But it says you can do it this way, which I'm thinking I want to do. Oh, with model as a child. This is typically the best mix of flexibility and maintainability. Create one generic player prefab that contains all the player logic, scripts, colliders, animation controllers, etc. Inside this prefab, have an empty model root game object, e.g. a child transform named model. At runtime, instantiate the player prefab and then instantiate the desired model prefab, which could just be the visual mesh and animator as a child of model root. Colliders, animation controllers. All right, let's ask this question here. If my models have some distinct animations or slightly different skeletons, that would animate that would animate. So I don't know, like, can you have a run animate that is different per character? Or can you have the same animate, call it run? I don't know. Would result in a slightly different run or other animation. Would the suggested options still be viable? Split logic and visuals. Keep your logic in one prefab, player, controller, colliders, etc. Have a child game object model root where you plug in the visual model dynamically at runtime. Use model-specific animator controllers or avatars. Each aviators, animator controller aviators. Each model prefab can come with its own animator controller. Mechanisms, humanoid retargeting if possible. If all models are humanoid, even if skeletons vary slightly, Unity's mechanism systems allow retargeting using a humanoid avatar. This helps unify animation playback. Sorry, I got slight things going on. So if I have to respond to these people or things go downhill fast. All right, and I got to turn on my stream so I can track it. Okay, back to task. So, okay, so it looks like I can do it. I'm going to try to create a single model that I create. objects for. I don't know what Mechanim's humanoid retargeting means, but it's a Unity thing, I guess. Unity's Mechanim system allows retargeting using a humanoid avatar. This helps unify animation playback. Create a player prefab, contains core player scripts, blah, blah, blah. Create separate visual model prefabs. Each includes a skin mesh renderer, has its own animator component, is configured with the appropriate animator controller and avatar. If some models are non-humanoid or not retargetable, you still can use the system, but you must author separate animations per model. So I do have one character that I really want to get into the game, and that's the snakes. And they don't have legs, so they're not truly humanoid, right? Now, everybody has arms. They need arms to play football. You don't have arms, you can't be in the football game. You gotta have some way to move, right? So you have arms. I could try to do goofy things like pretend like to have invisible arms and the ball just kind of moves around like, ooh. That would be interesting. have players like snakes that just have bodies and the ball just kind of just magically floats around them and they do their thing. But that's not the goal. I'm going to actually have arms on everybody. Legs they don't need because snakes could slither. And that's kind of what I was thinking. If I could come up with an animation that lets their body slither. That may have to be a later thing. There's a couple of things that probably won't be animated, like when the refs pop up. The refs will be like a 3D-ish character, but they won't have any animation because, yeah, I don't want to do that. So that's going to be how it goes. Maybe in the future, but maybe once I figure out how to animate the bodies of snakes, I will worry about getting the refs. I have some refs. I built a ref that actually was a snake because that might be the only taste of the snakes that we get in the first iteration. Anyway, so yeah, let's finish knocking these 25 errors out if I can. I only have 2, 3, 4, maybe a couple hours tops here. So, all right, game state does not contain a definition for play progress log, which I do have to create. So we're gonna have to. Let's go ahead and close this because it's blocking everything up. And we'll move this guy. Oh, nope, wrong one. Dang it. Put this over here. The thing in question is I don't have a play progress log. I have a game state. But I'm going to need a play progress log because that's got all of my stuff in it. So I have two things that are going to matter. Team play info is going to come across, and so is play progress log. They both have certain levels of information. So team play info stores non-in-play changing values. So a play can run all the way through without changing anything in team play info, except at the end maybe, because whatever the result of the play is. Points scored, the possessions, play selection are the values that was used to choose from in the play. We got the selected play ID and the current score of that team. So they may have scored 3, but the current score is 10, that kind of thing. And then we use that to actually render on the screen or on the UI what these things are going to be. So to start, we got to go create. I have game session, which is a team. Where is team? Team. Now, first of all, do my game sessions have team in them? I think they have. Now, team details, team play info is like there's a change. It can change on any given play. Team details is the stuff that won't change at all during the game. It's like that team specific bunch of junk. So team details is a different animal. It's like their colors, their mascot, things you put up at the beginning of the game and you'll leave it alone for that point. Who are these teams kind of thing. So that's team details. So I got the team ID, we got the game city, game mascot. We're not going to track their other stuff. I have user ID just for the sake of reference. I don't have the game plan information because that's not really needed on the UI side because that's all back-end coaches, that kind of stuff happening. If I mean, there are services. I do have the game plan service, which will have game plan for when you're editing the game plan. But that's not relevant here. It doesn't need it. It'll look it up itself when you come back through with the team ID. So this is the team details that matters to the UI. All right, so then we have the session, which should be up here somewhere. Game session response comes with team details for home team and away team. So the response for game session what does a game session have? It just has home team and away team. That's all it is. It's a response object, but do I have get next play, player position, run game, game session? All right, so the actual game session, which is the object that do we have a game session object? Oh, there it is, game session. Okay, so what do I need from the actual game session? That's the question. Obviously going to be more than that, I'm sure. Game type, rules, league ID. Maybe I don't have a lot more stuff to provide here. I don't need that. Last play game state. So this is an array of all of the game states, and I don't know how often I'm going to use a lot of those. Init play clock time. There are things in here that might come back and get used at run game. What's the run game response? Run game request. Now, game ID is the game session ID. See game ID and other structs. It's because game ID is good enough, but I call it a game session for other reasons. A session is like any game you have running that a user actually has running, that kind of thing. It's not really all games, but we don't really track the other games in the same way. At least not yet. Creator ID, game type. I don't know why. Why did I call it the creator's user ID? I don't know why I just call it user ID. That's not all that great. This is the proto. It probably is a user ID, but yeah, I don't know if I need that. Streamer key rules for the year. Don't need to worry about that much. League ID, league week. Trying to decide what stuff comes back over. XP gain allowed is, again, that's a value that's set in the back end because it's just based on the type of game it is. But I think this is going to need, the game session is going to need, I am going to need the init play clock time because that's a thing we set. Int, public int init play clock time. Do I have to put get set? Why do these? I don't think I need to put get set on these. I think if you're just setting a variable, don't need it. Isn't there another one? Get set. Oh no, you can not have one of those. You can do a get like you're just as a read only. But okay, so team should be team details, which I think is here, or is it not? Yeah, team details. So what a session has are team details, not teams. And then interestingly enough, it has a team details. Do I want a list of team details? I mean, it's home team and away team, but then I have to identify which one's which within the team details. And I don't know if I want to do that. I think I want to set these. I think I want it not to be this. I'm going to take this out. And this, because this lets me read the right value and know which team I'm working with. Home team. Oops. Team details. Away team. That's another nomenclature. Is it visiting team, away team, home team, and away team? I've been mostly going with away, but I think there are places where I say visiting. So that's probably a nomenclature I need to balance out at some point. Last play game state does not matter because this is just a list of them all. Like if I want to grab all of the plays, honestly, this could probably just go away. I don't need the last play game state in here because I can get an array of all the game states without passing back every game state twice, because really that's what's going to happen, because I'm passing back the last game state to the game. Every time. So that's a fair amount of data that's getting transferred back. And I don't know if I want to grab it every time. Yeah, I don't think I want this in here. It's just going to make me passing a lot more data back. Because I'm passing last play game state as an individual object, and having every last play game state doesn't serve any real purpose. At least not that I can think of. So I don't need to grab them all. I'm going to take that out. There's a connection between them simply by the game ID in the game states, but I don't think I need to do that. 14, 15, common. Build that back up. Why? Do it now. Ah, there we go. Hopefully that's not going to be a problem. Let's see if it references it at all. If it runs, then we're probably fine. Thinking about it. Ah, it did blow up. Okay, so game session. So I don't think I need that. Let's go see if I can fix it without without causing too much problems. Because that's just a whole list of game states, and I feel like that's overkill. Get the latest game state from the session. No game found in session. Check if this is a test game. Get current game session from request. Get the latest game state from the session. I think what I might do is get some AI assist just to clean this up, but I don't. I'm actually going to just have it get the last assigned game state with that game ID, because I think that will be a better way to go. Wait, what happened? Did I go to new window? Can you change the game session dot last play game state to instead just pull the last created last play game state with the ID. Is it ID? I think I forgot what is this? This uses ID, right? Yeah, it's ID. I'm pretty sure it's ID. Using the game session dot ID equals last play game state dot game ID. Can you change the game session last play game state to instead just pull last? This is because I don't need to be pushing the entire game's play log. Games, pushing the entire game's play logs over the network every play. So basically, I am going to instead search for the game session ID, the last game state, and pull that one, because it's going to be the same thing. All right, so let's make my window a little bigger so it's easier to read. Okay, so next play. So we're going to go get current game session from request, which we do. And now get the latest game state separately instead of from the session. So we'll do this for number 2. then none of this stuff should matter, or it shouldn't. Where'd number 3 go? What did it do here? We'll need to create a trimmed version of the game session for the coach service that only contains the latest game state. Huh. Well, all right, so I'm guessing it created a function? Get latest. Wait, where's this get latest game state thing? So what can't it just take the game state? What is the coach client? Consult game plan. So why? Get latest game state. Then we have quarter. I'm in the coach client. And we do the coach client, but then it says we're doing this instead. Consult game plan. But session for coach. Oh, because we're passing the game session and what coach? Huh. Because the coach requires the game session? I don't know if I like this. I'd rather just pass the game state. Why don't we just pass the game state? I think I'm gonna do that instead. I don't think I like that. I'm just gonna actually change this. Instead of going with that, we're just gonna pass game state. And then so we don't need to do that. And then we'll have that, and then I'll go into the consult game plan, go to definition, and then don't know what that is, but context in game session. Game plan. All right. And this is just going to be. It's so weird. Why is that doing that? That is strange. Do I not have code for consult game plan? Method. Consult game plan not implemented. Oh, goody. I don't even have that. I don't even have that instantiated yet. I mean, I guess I'm not that surprised, but still, I kind of thought I had placeholder code or something. All right, so we gotta go back here. Gateway. My gateway is still broken. I didn't realize that. I had everything working down here, but now that I went and broke more stuff. Do you intend to create a function for get the latest point state, but forgot. I always think it's funny. How did you forget? How does a computer forget stuff? But it did put in a placeholder for a method that doesn't exist. Because it created this thing, and then it's like, okay, but where's the function for it? Where's the method that's going to go get that stuff? Yeah, I know. Let's see what we get. I can't help it, man. I get the munchies. I was out doing yard work today. Did my workout. Save game state saves a single game state to the database. Don't I already have that? Why do we... Well, I probably... If I don't have a save game state, I have a save game session. Oh, because I'm not adding the game states to the game session first. And therefore, saving the game session won't do me any good. Which makes sense. So let's go. We'll put this one in. I do need to handle them separate. Then we got to create this guy. All right. Game session doesn't have this anymore. I'm gonna dump that. Who's mission problems? Who's got stuff wrong? Getting code access from Go, GitHub, Copilot, chat. What the heck? What are you doing over there, Copilot? What crazy long process are you running? All right. Initial state, last play game state. Create the initial game state. Get new game session, but I don't need It's not a response, but I do need to pass back in the response, but I don't need get new game session. Right. It's a little bit of a readjust, but it's all right. It's going to be fine. Game session doesn't need this. Which, if it's doing its job, we'll get a game state right here. So we should be fine. Okay. So get latest game state. It's there. How come it's not setting? Consult game plan. Go to definition. Consult game plan. All right, so let's go back to the store here. Game state. We'll go to my simulator. Go to the store. I do have that, but I do need a store struct. I did not add my store struct piece. Got client games. Game rules, game states. I already have game states in there. Add this field, game states. It's already there. Okay. And then new store should have game states, base store collection, game states. I've already got that. That's all stuff that already exists. Collection, game states, game rules. Okay. All right, so that's fine. Finally, update your get next play results function, which is probably in run game. Get next play result function. After updating game state properties, save the game state. Game state. Check if quarter. Check. Blah blah blah. Save the game state separately. Make sure game ID is set. Oh, yeah, probably should make sure game ID is set. Should be. I didn't look to see if it got set up above, but what I may have to do is actually do a method that creates a game state. Huh? I don't need that. All right. Now what? Let's play game state. That's part of the session. So what we'll need to do is create this as outside action. Oh, team play info is part of the game state. Oh, oops. So yeah, let's go with that. And then we'll just take that guy, put him right here. Do I even need a game state in the run game response? I might. I might need to pass the game state in there. Last play game state. Why is it not liking that? So we're gonna last play game state. Oh, got too many of these. Gosh, dang it! What is the problem? Progress log, team play info. Time return, expected. Oh, maybe it's not supposed to be there. And we're not using the last play game state. But the question's going to come down to, is game session using this last play game state on the run game response? That's going to be the question of the day. Am I missing something? Let's see, I got a parenthesis up here. Okay, got it. All right, so this is just complaining that I'm not using it yet. So the question will be whether or not I need it. And does the run, this is the initial game state. So does the run game response need the initial play game state? Because I do kind of pass the game state separate from the game session, just because I want one game state at a time. Because that's all I need. The UI renders one game state at a time, and that's it. It doesn't need to have all the game states. If I pull them all in, I'll be pulling in 100 and 120 plays, but each one of them could have hundreds of actions in them. Because so I could be putting in I could be bringing in thousands of pieces of data when I only need 100. So yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, back to it. You know, never mind. I'm gonna get myself distracted. I gotta see if run game response needs a game state. If it needs a game state, I'm gonna comment this out at the minute because I don't know that I need it yet. It does need an initial game state, but I don't remember if it gets that from the start or if it uses it later. If we're doing, like, if we're just getting the kickoff, or like, does the initial play game state actually, I think it does come with an initial game state, but I'm not positive. So we'll comment that out to allow it to function, just for now. And if it errors, then I'll go, oh, I do need it, and it'll be easy enough to add. I don't remember for sure how that's. Okay, so that should pretty much fix it. Pretty much. What's it still saying? There's still one error here. Oh, what's up there? And game state. Oh, it's still. All right, so who's? Let's go to the store. What's the store complaining about? Store's got all kinds of yellow. What is all this? Oh. Get game rules. Oh, am I missing a paren here? That's got to be all kinds of problems. Yeah, that fixed that. That's all that was. Okay, I missed. Oh, nope, there was more. Dang it. I hate when it does that. Keep my hopes up. All right, so what do we got? Either get the latest state from the embedded array or from a separate collection. From the embedded array? Last play game state. Either get the latest state from the embedded array or from a separate collection. I don't know what embedded array we have. Find the game session first to confirm it exists. Blah, 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 blah. For the separate collection approach, query the game states collection. Get the most recent one. Yeah, I'm doing that because I'm not going to worry about this. I don't have a game session last play game state anymore. It doesn't exist. What is this thing's problem? Declared and not used. Oh, right. Simplify. What is this? Declared and not used? Undefined. Now are we done? Now we fixed it? Okay, I think we fixed it. Back to you. Back to you, Joe. Create initial game state. Now that one, I think I still feel like I need that. What is this part of? Get new game session. But I don't know if this is the place to create that. That's all I'm saying. And this guy has one bug as well. Game state. All right. Let's update game plan service. Consult game plan. Is it coach? Oh, it's coach service. Coach service. Consult game plan to accept the game state object. So this way I can go to this definition. Gonna take a look. Fail to get coach client. Create a temporary game session. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. That is not what I asked for. Update the coach service consult game plan math function to accept the game state. Then it can just refer to that object for what it means, rather than creating some other object. AI just says, "Oh, here, let me do what let me do what you didn't ask for because I don't want to do it the other way." It's like, well, do it the other way anyway. AI can be very stubborn. I'm serious. AI actually will try to overrule you, and it doesn't even give you a reason for it. It just says, "Oh yeah, I see that you need this. Let's rewrite your code to do this other thing." It's like, I don't want to do the other thing because the other thing is sloppier. Creating special objects and forcing it in, that just makes things more confusing. If you have a session and you have a state, pass those two items and that has everything you need. Why would I create this third object that takes stuff from the game state or puts the game state inside of a session? Just pass the session and the state separately and I can work with them. Because the coach client is using values from both. It may not even use the session. I mean, ultimately, I may go in, if I remember correctly, the consult game plan may not even care what the session says. Actually, I think the session may have some stuff, like it might have game plan ID and stuff like that, because it has to look at the team and go, well, what game plan are they using? So it might actually use it, but isn't it weird? See, this is weird. I didn't know how to edit this because it says context, comma, in game session, ops, collab. That confused me. I don't know what this ops grpc.call option nonsense was. And that threw me off. That's why I needed it to help me, because I could have probably created this for any other thing. And it just wiped it out. I didn't even think that was the thing to do. But oops. What just happened? Oh, it didn't copy. That's what happened. There we go. And then update the handler function in the same file. Consult game plan. Oh, there's a handler function in here? Oh, I didn't even realize we were in the gRPC. I don't know why I didn't realize that. Consult game plan. Coach, what the heck? Is it creating some other thing? Wow, that is a weird naming convention. Why is it? I didn't realize it had a weird handler like that. I don't like it. And update the client interface as well. Coach service client. Coach. Maybe. Coach gRPC handler.go, right? Oh, that's the PB. Oh, why are we changing the... Oh, it's tell me to change the PB. That's stupid. Don't tell me to change the PB. Nobody changes PB. That's not a thing. Coach service client is the client API for Coach service for semantics from CTX. Oh. Where is this? So was it just a matter of rebuilding that? That's weird. Okay. I am confused as to what it is calling here. Coach service client. gRPC. What is that? There should be one called Funk. That's yeah, these are all weird. Alright, so the one I want, I don't want to change the proto or the PBs. But what I do need to do is find where the heck this is. That's test. Don't want to change the test right now. Funk service. Then update the client interface as well. And update the client implementation. Ugh. Why are we updating the PB files? .pb.go files. Wouldn't we just update the .proto and then make gen again? The only files we should need to change are files in Coach service gRPC underscore handler.go and service.go possibly. Coach.proto. Honestly, I'm going to go get rid of these guys altogether because that's dumb. Comment API, we're going to go to Coach and just grab this and this. I'm getting rid of that. I don't want to edit the PB files directly. Alright, so we're going to go back to the coach.proto. It's just such a weird thing that it does this sometimes. Oh, this is the gRPC handler. God, it's bouncing all over the place. Don't do that. It says, yeah, let's update the proto, and then it goes, oh, but let's go do the gRPC handler first. I'm going to go here. All right, so this is consult game plan. This is what I expected to see it do at some point. And then that's it. Are you still working? I guess it's still working. All right, well, I guess I'll just wait for you to do the next thing. It's in a state of frozen. There's a person at my front door. I think I have till 3:30-ish before I'm leaving, so I got a little bit of time to try to iron this out. All this to save network traffic, because a game state is a single play. Every play has a single game state. What's the state of the play after the play has been executed, along with the log that comes with the play execution? But because that's 22 players minimum going on in there, and 22 players with all of their route actions and all the stuff that they do throughout the play, could be upwards of, depending on how far they move on the field, it could be a bunch of stuff. Because if it's every 2.5 yards is essentially, plus the actions that they can take along the way, is an action going on in the play. So if they're 2.5 yards and they have to run 20 yards, that's what, 10 steps. And that's not to mention any attempts to break tackles or blocks or catch a ball or run with the ball after you've caught the ball. And so if you figure you got like 3 guys who go deep, go 15 to 20 yards, and then you've got a quarterback who's back there scrambling around doing his thing, you could be looking at several hundred actions in a single play, because both defense and offense are doing their thing, trying to track these guys. So we're talking about a lot. And then if I take the entire game session and pass that with all the game states that came along, that means we have 100 plays with 100 actions at least. I'm probably more than that. It's probably 200 or 300 actions per game state. And then you have 100 game states. You're talking about 10,000. What is that? Well, it's several thousand. If you got 300 times 100, is that really 100,000? 100,000 games. 100 times 300. Is that 300,000? It's 4 zeros. No, that's 10. That's 3,000. Right? No, four zeros. 30,000. That's 30,000 steps per. So if you got 100 times 300, you're talking at least 30,000 things going by the time the game is over. And that's in between. And if you've got 1,000 people playing the game and they're all moving 30,000 lines every time, yeah, it's going to get ugly. So I figured one. Send a few hundred, I get, because you got to send the play. But thousands? No. That's not a good plan. There may be times when I have to get the whole thing. Like maybe I might get an entire play if I want to run a replay of a game, but you would get the entire thing all at once one time, because at that point it's just going to execute the entire thing. It doesn't have to do anything else. It has the entire game right there on your system, and it can just run the replay. And it'd be kind of cool to be able to run a replay, right? Like simulate a game and then be able to watch the game later. If you wanted to download the game and watch it offline or something. I know, I'm trying to make this out to be like a real game, like somebody can actually watch it like it's a Sunday afternoon game, and you're like, oh, I'm going to watch it. Don't tell me what happens, because somebody else might know what happened, right? Because theoretically, if you're part of a league and you download the instant replay because you don't have time to watch it now, but you want to like have it on or watch it later, somebody could know what happened in that game. Somebody else in your league. Technically, I mean, if they were in your league and you're like talking to them, you're like, don't tell me what happens. I want to see what happens. For a digital football game. I know, I know. Is anybody going to do that? I don't know, but it might be it will be a possibility by the way I'm designing it. Okay, so what happened? Is it done? All right, so I did the consult game plan. And then consult game plan selects plays based on the game situation. I don't feel like, is that all of it? Oh, so then I got to go to service. And it's everything starting at this point. So don't even need that part. I think it just did this part as a... All right, so there's some bugaboos going on here. Consult game plan response. Oh, sorry, because I haven't, let's go over here, do a make gen. Well, it's better, but we still got 2 errors. It's funny, it didn't actually give me the proto changes, if there's supposed to be a proto change. So I got service.go and gRPC handler.go, but I don't see any proto updates. We're going to do some proto updates to implement. So let's see what the, I feel like there is. Why wouldn't there be? Coach. What is it? Consult game? Yeah, I didn't even put in the game state, man. Yeah, that's what I thought. I could have just added it, but I get to working with the AI, and sometimes I'm like, okay, I know what you're doing wrong here. I can just put it in, but sometimes I feel like, no, you fix your problems. you, you don't know what you do it right. Consult game plan. Okay, consult game plan request. Oh. Wait, what? API game session. Oh, it's creating a new... Why are we doing it that way? Why not? Oh, API dot game state r last play. I'm not creating a whole new set of responses just for that. Just use the stuff we have, man. Hell yeah. stop. Let's go stop coach service. And then we'll have to go over here, create a new git bash, cd FPFM /coach. Go, oh, probably can't run yet. All right, just give it up, man. You're going down the rabbit hole. Stop it. Get out of the rabbit hole. You and your dang rabbit holes, man. Sometimes you just got to like, all right, AI, I know you're obviously doing whatever you feel necessary, but sometimes you just don't know what you're doing. So we'll just cut you off there. All right, so that said, what else we got going? So, I don't know. I haven't been using Claude 4. Supposedly it's better. So far, I've only used it a couple times, but I keep getting, the block. Oh, you used it enough times for today or for the next few minutes. Wait another couple of seconds. I don't know what a couple seconds means. So far, it seems like it's been a couple of seconds. So like, oh, you got to pace yourself if you're using Claude 4 for whatever reason. I can't believe my day's almost over. My weekend is done again. Another week down the tubids. And I don't think I've made nearly enough progress. I feel like I'm getting stuff done, but man, it doesn't feel like 5 days worth of work. I really got to see if I can just do a 60-hour week. Just heads down, focus. Because I do Saturday night for a couple of hours. I do Sunday for about 2 or 3 hours. This weekend's going to be tough, though, because we got people coming over. And then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I typically get about 4 to 6 hours. I need to... Well, no, okay, that's not true. I probably get more like 6 to 8 hours. But still, I want to have a head down, regular days worth of work. Now, I do best in the afternoon. My brain really starts to fire sharp around 12 to 1 o'clock. I work out in the morning, so I get kind of tired and exhausted. And I can be kind of just trying to get my engine started in the mornings. But in the afternoons, I'm like, heads down, I can code, I can go on at it. But I always feel like there's something else I should be doing. When you're unemployed, you always feel like you should be doing some other thing. So it could be a little stressful. Because like helping around the house, which is of course things I should be doing. So finding time to heads down code for 8 hours during the day is kind of tricky. And when I work at night, it actually makes a problem for me because I have trouble falling asleep because my brain is kind of wound up. The coach, JRPC, PB, oh man, but you've implemented blah, 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 blah. Oh, so why? consult handle the logic for selecting plays based on the game. Consult game plan. No. So why is my PB? Oh, did I not regenerate stuff here? Coach doesn't run, so we can go to common, and then we'll delete these again. Try to make gen again. Ugh. Proto, there's something wrong with my file. What is wrong with my API game session? What I can't do to okay, so I got a bug in my proto. Wait, there's got to be other functions that are doing this. Oh, they only return. Oh, can I not? Can I only pass one object? Ew. I didn't know that. Interesting. Well, that's the problem. You can only pass one object this way. Huh. Huh. Well, I don't know. I did not expect that to be the problem. Guess. That's weird. How come you can only do one? How come we can only do one? Guess I'll have to. I don't know what that is. What's the date? Oh, this is May, right? What is this? Oh, this is Caden or Hallie. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of my kids needs to take care of their tabs. Can't remember who has which car. Okay, so I was wrong. I have to actually create a change in my game session. Well, that's a bummer. Consult game plan. My proto needs to be updated. Consult game plan needs to have a consult game plan request, which I do have to go down here and go consult game plan request. Consult game plan response. Consult game plan. Consult game to include the game session and last play game state. But I have a consult game plan request. Play result fields. going to be a thing. That's going to be a major thing. All right, let's go see if this will gen. All right, that genned. And now we gotta go back to the gRPC handler for coach. And we gotta go consult game plan here. Changing this up. I gotta go to the service. 3. We still need more plays to reach for. Coach, call coach service. That's probably not the same thing. All right, so we got the service. Call coach service to update game state with offense and defensive play selections. Oh, is that part of the, you'll need to update the client code in your simulator, simulator service. Oh. Simulator service. On the gRPC handler? Oh wait, no, I'm looking in the wrong place. Dang it! It is in here. Consult game plan. Let's go here somewhere. There's Control F. Consult game plan. Okay. Is it in the wrong game? There it is. Okay. So number 3 needs to be replaced with this guy instead. There's probably other errors that are going to come from that because, oh, it's putting it inside. Well, I guess that's not so bad. All right, so things seem to be compiling. Now, what's the going on deal with this one? Oh, still got to decide if I need a game state. Get new game session. I think that's going to be required, but I don't know for sure. But we will find out because we're going to comment it out. Edit and toggle block. And then, oops. Okay, I think everything is saved. Yep. And then we got to go back to the coach. Hey, coach. Go run dot. Oh, wait, we got problems with the service. What the heck, man? I thought I just fixed all those. So what happened to the rec? Do we not use rec anymore here? The request, the request at 316. What is it trying to figure out? What does the play selection need? Hey, rec. Oh, it's the game session. So it's just a session. So we got find matching situation. What is it expecting to be? Goal, last play, game state. Try to find a matching situation. Game sessions don't have last play game states. Try to find a matching situation. Oh. So, yeah. Okay, so this has to be a game state, which is what this is asking for. And I don't think I got to get the game state from probably... I'm not even sure. What am I using game session for? What is the rec doing? It's got the home team. Yeah. So it's using home team, but what is it using rec for? Home team, coach. Coach game plan ID. Oh, because it gets the game plan IDs from those, for those teams from the session. Got it. So I do need the rec, because that's the thing. Or I can update this and just pass in the team, and then I don't have to have another object. Because if home team blah else, because are we getting both teams, or we're just getting one team on this call? So we're going to call home team and defense. The home team is the trigger that says they're home team or not. But then we could just pass, instead of the session, we just pass the game plan, or not the game plan, but the home team object. Which is just a team details, which would pull that. So we could just call a team object, which would, instead of being a game session, would actually just be a team details.
Are you about ready to go pretty soon?
Yeah, what time do you want to leave?
I know right now it says like 22 minutes, but it might be longer than that if you get there, so.
All right. Okay, so yeah, let's work on this when next I have an opportunity, which will probably be Saturday night, most likely. But it does seem that it might be better here just to pass in a team object, and then I could just say, well, if it's the home team, it's this, and then I don't have to use the rec. I don't think it uses the rec for anything else, because I'm going to pass in a game state and a team, and beyond that, I don't think I need anything else in here. So yeah, I think what this is going to be is team. We'll call it a team details. And the only thing I need to do is, in fact, it's almost better to do a team details, because I don't even need to know if they're home team at that point. Well, I do. No? What do I need to know their home team for? Ultimately, I just need to know who the team is, get their game plan and user game plan, and then I don't have to read anything. I don't need to even know if they're home team. Because if I get the team details, that's the team I'm working with, because that's the one I want. And then if user just use the team ID to get the plan, which game plan ID. So I have the game plan IDs. And then get game plan from game plan service. So we do that. We go out and fetch it. Try finding a matching situation, which is where I'm going to go call that. But now I have to look to see if that cares. But ultimately, I feel like I might need home team for that. Last play game state, I'll just pass in the last, I'll pass in the game state. Okay, so yeah, I think, because if that's the case, I know for sure I don't, with team details, I don't even need this. This is going to clean it up. And yep, this will be a lot better. Then I don't need it. I don't even need to test if they're home team. I can just collect this. I can dump this whole thing. This whole if statement can go away. Update function to accept team details for working team rather than game session. Also pass in game state. Okay, that's it for today. I will get that done.